Of the Mitre Cup. Once again, I haven't seen all these games, but I have watched all the highlights, had a look through some of the stats. Yeah, some interesting results, and it was our first week where we had the teams kind of doing those double header games where they have to play twice in a week. So Counties and Taranaki having to play twice this week, kind of mixed results. They opened us up on Wednesday with a 26-19 victory to Taranaki. Yeah, it was 19 all after about 75 minutes. So Counties, who have not had their best start to the season, were looking to really push one of the supposed kind of premiership kind of challenges for this season. And they pushed them pretty hard. But yeah, Taranaki too good in the end. Counties kind of not able to get it done with a last little push. Pulu for Counties scored a really good solo kind of effort try in this game. It was a bit of magic, so it's worth checking out the highlights just to see him score that try. But Bodine Waka got 2 tries for Taranaki, and yeah, just ended up a bit too good. Speaking of too good, Auckland, their record is perfect so far this season. The results have been there, the performance is not always, but this week was a pretty good one. 35 points to 17 over Waikato. Abel got 2 tries, Trainer got 2 tries. Kind of a Brumbies connection with Pulu heading that way, and Abel having come from there. Waikato scored a couple of late tries, but it just made the score a bit more respectable. It was still pretty one-sided for much of it, and yeah, Waikato go none from 3, so their push to kind of bounce back to the premiership has taken another step back, and it's on pretty shaky ground at this point. Next game, one-sided affair. Wellington beaten Southland 52 points to 7, pretty one-sided. As if it wasn't going to be kind of tough enough for Southland already, Wellington had some All Blacks back, so they had Perenara and like Savia, guys like that. They had Ben Lamb up against them already, so he scored 3 tries. Yeah, at halftime it was 40 points to 0. I put in a tweet that it was going to get pretty messy, but to their credit, Southland in that second half did a lot better. Scored a try of their own, almost won the second half, but Wellington got a try right at the death to kind of win both halves. Not that it would have made a difference to the result, but it might have at least psychologically given the guys a bit of a boost to know that for 40 minutes they were all good. Speaking of 40 minutes, Bay of Plenty had Canterbury. They only trailed Canterbury by 2 points at half-time. It was 14-12, but they ended up losing that one 31 points to 19. Bay of Plenty, along with Hawke's Bay, looked to be kind of the better of the championship teams this year. But yeah, Canterbury really just too good in this one. I mean, Hippopotamus looks good for Bay of Plenty. He's kind of a bit of a journeyman at this point, but he hopefully kind of settles down where he is. Canterbury, McKay got 2 tries. They got a penalty try from a big dominant scrum. So, yeah, they are still going to challenge despite that early loss to Tasman in the first week. Next one, Manawatu and Otago was going to be an interesting one because neither has had the kind of the perfect start. But yeah, man, Otago 50 points to 17, a big result for them. Thompson looks good for Manawatu. He's looked good all season. And Laloifi, who I've been kind of raving about so far, he's always looked magic with ball in hand. Scored a try in this one. I think he's the top try scorer in the comp, but his kicking is not the best. It was kind of exposed a bit in this game, kind of a couple of mistakes with the boot, so we'll see if he kind of irons that out for next week, whether it was just an off week or whether it's going to be an ongoing thing. We will see. The left winger for Otago, Nereki, looked really sharp in that game as well. So another guy to watch out for. Otago look like they've got a fair bit of talent, but they just haven't had the results so far. But this was the first big one. So both those teams are 1 win and 2 losses. Next one, Hawke's Bay took on Counties, who played their second game of the week. And despite having to play the 2 games, Hawke's Bay weren't able to get it done. So 29 points to 25. And this one, Jonah Lowe has another guy who had a bit of a magic try. And this one kind of a kick and chase. Had 2 tries overall. Counties had a really slick lineup move where they picked up Nabura. And yeah, he ended up kind of setting up a try. So that was interesting if nothing else. So yeah, it was in the 76th minute when Counties kind of reclaimed the lead. It was a bit of tit for tat in this one. And they did well to pick up their first win, especially seeing as they should have had tired legs. So 29 points to 25. They go 1 win and 3 losses, but they are still kind of firmly at the foot of that premiership table. The next one, Northland, another team who had not gotten a win. Kind of a similar theme. They played Taranaki, and they also managed to sneak one, even more at the death than the Hawke's Bay game. They got a penalty in the 79th minute when they were A couple points down, it was 15-17. They got a penalty to win it 18-17 right at the death. Robinson has had a pretty good game in every game he's played in this season. Kind of a easy guy to spot on the field due to the colour of his hair. He got a try. I think it's his second try of the season because he got one in that game against North Harbour as well. For Taranaki, I mean, they got a couple of tries on the break. Mitre had a particularly good one. And Parete was probably lucky not to get yellow carded, but it was kind of fitting that he was the man that gave away the last penalty right in the death for kind of hands in the ruck. And yeah, that's what cost Taranaki the game. So bit of discipline needed there. Taranaki's record now 2 wins, 2 losses, and with a squad with so many big names in it, perhaps not getting the results that you would expect on paper. But again, this is only 4 games into the season for them, and it was their second game of the week. So we'll see how they go once they are playing the tired team instead of being the tired team next time. And the last one, Tasman and North Harbour, both teams undefeated at this point of going into this game. But Tasman just to... Why have I got this round this way? Harbour lost that one. Yeah, Tasman 32, North Harbour 20. Yeah, I mean, Duffy got a really good aerial try, caught the ball kind of above his head, rugby league style, kick from Bryn Gatland. But man, Tasman, that squad is full of talent. Frizzell had a really good game. Jordan still looks really good. There's lots of talent in that Tasman team, and I still think they're probably the favourites. I mean, it's kind of easy to say at this point because they are undefeated, 3 wins, no losses, but yeah, they look very, very good. Harbour, you know, they'd been undefeated, but didn't look the business up until this point. I thought they might have got a bit of a hiding, 12 points in the end, but it was pretty close right up until the end. So, yeah, they seem to be on the improve, if nothing else. Next week, Waikato and Wellington have both got the double, so they'll be playing twice, so that'll be a challenge for them. Auckland and Tasman is going to be a big one because both of those teams are 3 wins and no losses. Southland and Counties is kind of going to be a big one because Counties only had that 1 win. Southland as yet winless. And Hawke's Bay and Bay of Plenty battle to see, you know, who's really putting their hand up to win that championship because they both look strong, although both of them kind of going down this week. So, I mean, both to premiership opposition, but we'll see how they go against each other. Like I said, I didn't see every minute of every game, so if you guys have seen some stuff that you think's worth letting me know about, chuck in a comment. I'll have a look. Like I said, I've seen the highlights, but they're replaying all the games throughout the week, so I try to catch up on those where I can. And yeah, let me know how you think the fixtures are going to go for next week. I will put them in the comments so you guys can have a look. Alright guys, talk to you again soon. See you later.